With a completed teleplay in hand, Ed Friendly went looking for the right director for his pet project.
My father and mother had seen one of the Bonanza episodes, I think it was called The Wish, which Michael Landon had directed. And both my parents were very impressed with the work that Michael Landon did on The Wish. And I think Lauren Green probably had recommended Michael as well. My father already knew Michael because Lauren and he were good friends, and I think he'd met Michael at Lauren's house on several occasions. And he thought Michael Landon would be terrific.
My father was at the pinnacle of his career as a television actor. He was smart enough, however, to hone his craft in other areas.
Michael Landon started Bonanza in 1959 as a 22-year-old kid. By 1962, he'd worked out a deal to write and direct on Bonanza. So it was very clear early that Michael had a hunger to wear all the hats.
My father asked my sister, Brooke, to take the script to Michael Landon. By that afternoon, he received a phone call from Michael saying that not only did he want to direct it, but he also wanted to star in it. And that's how it started.
It was a match made in heaven. Michael Landon took the reins of the series with both hands and guided it into television history. His sensibilities could not have been more right for the project.
My dad was a perfectionist when it came to his work, and so when he took on Little House on the Prairie, he researched it completely. He wanted to know as much as he could about all the characters. In order to make it such a long-term series, he had to add some of his own characters to it as well. And I think if Laura Ingalls Wilder was alive, I think she would have applauded him.
The possibility of creating a show that presented a happy, harmonious family as an example to audiences appealed to Michael Landon for very personal reasons.
The series Little House on the Prairie meant a lot to my father. He grew up in a pretty dysfunctional family. His parents literally would be sitting at the same dinner table, and they would communicate with each other through my father. So, tell your father to do this.
He did not grow up in a happy home. He loved his parents, but there was a lot of heartache along the way. And I think when my dad was able to have a family of his own, he wanted to have a very different life, not only for himself, but for raising children in a loving environment. And I think he wanted to take that into his work.
They said that you couldn't get a decent job, and that all you could do was clean up after the end, and that you smelled bad.
You're right, 2 out of 3. And I do clean the stables. I come home from working all day. I don't exactly smell like a bottle of lemon verbena, now do I?
No.
I think that Little House and his time as Charles Ingalls at the center of this wonderful family was the life Michael wanted to have.
He did not grow up with the experiences that he portrayed on the show, but I know in his heart that that's what he believed in, and that's why it came through so brilliantly, because he wanted to live a life of family, community, love, faith, understanding, tolerance, all of the things that we all strive for all the time.
Laura, you've eaten scarcely a bite.
Not very hungry tonight, Mom. Is Mr. Pike really a maniac?
Who told you that?
Well, Mrs. Olson and Willie and Nellie said he was dangerous.
What a thing to say.
He's just an old man who likes his privacy, that's all.
And has every right to it.
Sure does look scary.
Well, maybe I'll look scary when I get as old as he is.
There's no question that the ideals that he was having us live up to on film were the ideals he carried around in his own heart.
He was giving, he was loving, he was generous. He was probably the most special man I've ever met, other than my husband, of course.
Michael Landon's remarkable sensitivity as a director made itself evident in the consistently high quality of performances in Little House.
On days